Call this meeting to order to the City Council. It's October 4th. Mr. Welling, will you lead us in the, now that you got a piece of candy in your mouth, will you lead us in the pledge?
Can do that. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And welcome. Welcome. We didn't draw a big crowd tonight, have we? From those that aren't otherwise obligated to be here anyway.
Good thing we have to pay our crowd.
Yeah, no kidding. We need to start with a roll call. Ms. Harris, will you help us with that?
Councilmember Otley and Councilmember Brooks are absent, but we do have quorum.
Excellent, thank you. We have an agenda before us. Is there any changes to that agenda that we need to consider before we move forward? Anybody have any? Is there a motion to approve that agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Welling with a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Welling seconding. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? We have an agenda. We have the City Council minutes for September 20th. Questions, comments, concerns, changes? If not, we'll acknowledge those as they've been prepared, and we'll go on to the bills. Any questions or concerns there? If there is none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Welling with a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Lynch seconding. Discussion. There's no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? That takes care of the bills. We have a revenue and expenditure report for August. Consider questions there. Is there a motion to approve that report?
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Sellers.
Second.
Mr. Welling seconding. Any discussion? There's no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? That takes care of that. Thank you. Council comments. Mr. Lynch.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Nothing tonight. Mr. Welling.
I have nothing tonight.
Mr. Sellers.
Just want to hope everybody's enjoying this nice fall weather because it's awesome. So,
Mr. Welling. Yes.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Well, we're moving pretty fast, and I don't feel the need to slow us down, so we'll go on. We have no public hearings or special orders. We do have 3 items on our consent agenda. I suspect we've looked through those. What's your pleasure? Can we look together? Is there anybody here that wants to, is there any information we need to know on any of these consent agenda items before we move forward with it? Oh, Mika. Well, by all means, come forward.
Yeah, there's nothing new on here, but we are having our 4th annual Fall Main Street Bash. And with that is a cornhole tournament, a backyard cornhole tournament. It's just $20 to participate per team. And then we're having an after party after that. So.
Nice. Excellent.
And then we're having our Hunters Widows Night Out, which is a great night for the non-hunters to come down and go shopping in our downtown. And then the Trick or Treat Street on, I think it's actually Monday. It's a Monday, October 31st. So.
Is it 31st of Monday? Could be.
Bless you.
Yeah. I don't know, is it?
Yeah,
Go to somebody-
31st is a Monday.
Is it Monday? All right. Excellent. Thank you, Mika. I think anybody have any questions for Mika before we Is that her? I'll entertain a motion to approve our consent agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Welling,
I'll second.
Mr. Lynch seconding.
Great, thank you.
Is there any discussion? If there's no discussion, all in favor say aye. 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 Are there any opposed? That takes care of that. Unfinished business, ordinance 2204. Mr. Bowl, please.
Your Honor, this ordinance of the City of Evanston amends Section 24105 of Chapter 23 zoning of the City Code to allow more than one kitchen in a dwelling unit.
Thanks, sir. Mr. Jacobson.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, first reading, I sense that there is a little confusion on how a kitchen might be applied, and also how it might be enforced with the way we had it written in the proposal. I do have a couple of alternatives. It still stays in the same line as to what we're trying to accomplish here in allowing an additional kitchen in a dwelling. So the handout that I provided you with has a definition of dwelling unit, an alternative that I'm presenting tonight. It's highlighted in yellow. The one above was presented last week, so I'll go through the one in yellow. So a dwelling unit would be defined as one or more rooms in a dwelling or portion thereof, used and designed and intended to be used for occupancy by one family or a group living together as a single unit described in Section 2417 of the Evanston City Code, including permanent provisions for living, sleeping, sanitation, and containing one or more kitchens. I did add that was the change with that one, bringing the term kitchens back in. That would provide some reference to the definition of what a kitchen is. One of the things you might want to consider with that, I have one or more kitchens. I don't know how many kitchens are typically added to a house for a family unit. You may want to look at capping that to two, one or two kitchens. And that, so that's something to consider. I'll go on to kitchen. You can see it's shortened a little bit. I got rid of a lot of the language that addresses hot plates, countertop grills, microwave ovens. Do we really want to get into, trying to enforce? I'm not sure how you would actually enforce that. If you have an outlet, someone can purchase any kind of cooking item and plug it in. So I removed that verbiage from this proposal or this next proposal. So I have a kitchen, that portion of a dwelling unit devoted to the cooking or preparation of food for the purpose of consumption by residents of the dwelling unit. That's very similar to what we have currently in our code. It goes on to continue the presence within any food preparation area of a ventilation hood, gas stub, 220-volt electrical outlet or wiring, or any combination thereof, together with a refrigerator and a sink, shall be considered a kitchen. We could look at a refrigerator and sink connections as well. Those things may not be installed at the time that the building's being inspected. So a combination of all three of those you'd have to be considered a kitchen. The term shall also include a kitchenette, wet bar, or similar area equipped with the means to cook or prepare food.
So now and I was trying to pull it up, but the ordinance that we considered at first reading, it had, maybe this is a good question for dinner, either one, is the language in the first reading, is that the first number 1 and number 2 that we have on this that you prepared for us tonight, Dwayne?
Yeah, the ones that are highlighted in yellow, those are the amended
Or
ones
proposed.
from first reading. The ones above there that are those two definitions that are not highlighted, that's what was considered at first reading.
Right, okay. And so the number one, the only difference I see in that is there's an A, they're grouped by one family or a group, and that just, or one family or group living in that, and then eating is left out, which is fine. And what else was there?
Cooking.
Oh, cooking, right, cooking and eating.
So, yeah, that,
Which I think is great. I think it's good.
One or more kitchens, does that
you should probably add the A back in, a group living together.
Well, it might be wording, okay, designed and intended to be used for occupancy by one family or group living together. I think
Or
the
a
wording is
group.
fine. The verbiage is fine, I think. So I don't know that the A needs to be in there. I just noticed that it was gone. And I guess when we had first reading, I kind of got hooked up on the under-counter refrigerator and sink. I thought that was kind of a problematic definition. I didn't know what that meant. What does, you could have an under-counter refrigerator or not, and I don't know how you'd have an under-counter sink. So I was confused by that. So I appreciate what you've done here in the yellow. I think that's a
I
better
think
change
it
for me.
cleans it up quite a bit,
Yeah.
and it's shorter and simpler.
So how do we go about this? Do we need an amendment to?
You can do it two ways. You can try to cobble together an amendment tonight. You can pass it as it is on second reading, and I'll take what Dwayne has prepared and put it into a written third amendment that you can consider on third and final reading.
That would be the easiest way to do it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and the cleanest,
Okay,
So that's what I would suggest.
okay. I think that makes sense. Anything else you want us to know about tonight?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, would you like to consider a cap on the definition of dwelling with the one or more kitchens or one or two kitchens? And have a cap on that, or?
I don't know that I have a feeling.
Something to consider. I don't know how many people would have more than two kitchens
Wow.
within a single dwelling, so.
I don't know where that, I don't have a feeling that way. If somebody else has got a, I don't think we necessarily need that. I don't want to overregulate something that we, would have a hard time policing anyway. And so I think people within the walls of their own home need to be able to do.
And that's what we're trying to do with that, is to,
Yeah. So I don't
Open
think we
up
need
some
a
more
cap of
options
that
for
sort.
people.
I just assume less is more in my mind. So, but I like this new wording. I appreciate that. Any other comments? We've gone through first reading. We've got a sponsor. I guess I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance 2204 on second reading.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Welling, is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Welling seconding. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, is all in favor say aye?
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? That has,
thank
sorry,
you.
what? Oh, that has been approved on second reading. Anticipate some changes coming up on third reading. Thank you. We'll go on to new business there, and we need to consider a motion to consider the purchase of a truck. Mr. Robinson.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is for a service truck for the water distribution collection department or division. These things are expensive. We budgeted $60,000 for this truck, and the low bid is $60,778, so it's a little bit over that. The last
Seems like
truck,
a lot of money for a Ford. I'm just saying.
you might be right. The last truck we bought, which is identical to this, was 47,000.
Holy mackerel.
So-
That's increase since whenever.
It is, yeah. So it's a little bit over budget. I guess my recommendation, I guess, is we move ahead, but because I don't know how good this price will be next year.
I'm assuming that you've got some space in your budget to accommodate that
Yes.
extra, or do we need
The
to?
$700, yeah.
You got some way to cover that?
Yeah,
It's like to be next year before you get it anyway.
yeah.
Probably will.
Delivery.
Yeah. 44 days, yeah, they're all account. Okay. Well, any questions for Mr. Robinson on this bid? If there are none, I entertain a motion to accept the bid.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Lynch,
I'll second.
Mr. Sellers seconding. Any discussion? There's none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, are there any opposed? That's approved, thanks, Gordon. Departments, Mr. Robinson, you have anything more while you're standing there?
Fixed the water main break today.
That was on 6th Street there by Front Street? I've noticed the repair starting there on 9th Street between the bank and the
That's our last patch too, we need to fix there, and I think this one on 6th Street, we can get it patched while we're there.
Oh, nice. Was that did it just break, or what was the?
There was an old cast iron pipe and it sheared
Oh.
years ago, and there was a repair done there.
Uh-huh.
Repair was there.
Oh,
So there's two repairs there. Herman and I fixed one in 2017. This was an older of the two that we didn't know was there
oh,
before our time. So
okay,
we took it out and put a big pipe in.
nice. Good, excellent. Appreciate that. Thanks. Tell your people thank you for that's tough work. No, thanks. Chief Ranish, have anything for us tonight?
No, sir, nothing there.
Okay, Mr. O'Neill,
Nothing there.
Ms. Lim, Mika, you have anything more for us? Dean, Mr. Barker, Mr. Jacobson, anything? How about Parks and Rec? Do you have anything for us tonight? We don't want to leave you out. You could sit over here with the group too if you wanted to. I mean, there's no protocol. You could have just jumped right in the middle.
Invitation.
Ms. Harris, have anything for us tonight?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Bowl.
Nothing more.
Okay. Public participation. I guess that falls to you, Kane. What do you got for us? I know you have. We'll let you off the hook. Looks to me like we can adjourn. Thank you.
So Diane, how many kitchens do you have in your house?